Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 11, well, it's 11:11. Time to make a wish. Okay, I made a wish. See if it happens. I doubt it. Uh, but I'm live, and I am the Crypto Crow. It's 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. And I wanted to do something a little bit different that I hope is a little helpful. I got to be honest, I was going through all of the crypto news and everything going on in the crypto space, and sentiment is definitely turning. I mean, it's things are getting a lot more interesting lately, and there's a lot of positive news. There's a lot of positive stuff going on, but a lot of it just seems like a little bit of riding the wave a little, which is fine, but nothing overly significant or really tugging at my attention string. So I figured I'm going to do something a little different today. You're going to see behind me. Well, first of all, you're going to notice two things. One, I'm going to have trouble talking a little bit. My throat is so sore. Like, I don't know what happened, but my throat is crazy sore. And two, I found my old glasses. And I did not realize how badly I need to be wearing glasses. I've been struggling a lot lately, just kind of going through stuff and just trying to see. I'm painting models. I use these things to paint my models, my miniatures, which they are like crazy high magnifying glasses for exactly what I'm using them for, painting. So my vision's not been that great, and apparently, when we did that 23andMe, the only thing, I'm not prone to any cancers apparently, but the one thing I am prone for genetically is macular degeneration, which is a lot of fun to think about. And I'm pretty sure my grandmother had that, and maybe my mom, I'm not sure, but she doesn't wear glasses. So anyway, good morning, Alex Howard. What's up, man? Glad we finally got you squared away. Pretty sure we did anyway. You see the Financial Services Committee Task Force hearing the other day. Title is Cash Still King? No, I didn't see that, but cash is definitely not king. I don't know what they're going to try and do with that, but I don't buy it. And I know that the topic, I could tell by the number of people coming into chat, a lot of people aren't going to necessarily be interested in this as much on my channel, but my hope is that it draws some other people in and exposes them to crypto. But I've been working a lot lately on my CryptoCrow.io community website. Basically, my focus on trying to teach people other ways of generating income online. And, there are so many things that I've done through the years. Good morning. There's so many things I've done over the years. And, this whole Amazon FBA business is really exciting, to be quite frank with you. And I'm learning a hell of a lot in this venture. But I've also been watching a lot of videos from a lot of different people. A lot of videos. I'm doing I've explained in other videos my plans moving forward. I'm going to be creating my own product at some point. I'm going to be private labeling another product. I'm going to be another use case that we did is, my wife is starting to write these romance novels, and I gotta be honest, she's pretty good. But she wrote this, which is set on pre-order right now. My wife's author name is Felicity Lane, and I'm gonna be doing a video on doing like ebooks, writing your ebook, publishing it, the process, preparing everything, what software to use, because there's actually free software. There's a lot of people selling software for free for formatting your ebooks, and it's not necessary. I formatted this for her, and I went through and edited and things, and I used free software that Amazon gives you, and it was completely fine. You can embed photos, you can create links, and it formats it exactly the way Amazon wants it for Kindle. So it was a no-brainer, and it was super easy. So I am going to be doing a video, and then she went and did the audiobook. She recorded the audiobook right here, And so that's going to be on Audible. So what I'm going to do is, what I'm waiting for is, I've done a few things to get things started with promoting the book. And so what I'm going to end up doing is a video explaining everything that I did, you know, how, not how to write the book necessarily, because that's pretty much on you, but I'll be curious to see how sales grow over time. Now, the one thing about ebooks is it really depends on the kind of ebook it is. If it's an informational or educational ebook where you're using affiliate links to generate revenue, or if you're trying to build a fictional series and become a legitimate novelist or a novellaist, I guess, as you call it, because a lot of the ebooks available, they're called novellas. They're not as long as a big novel. So so that's, and I'm going to be doing that now. And of course, I'm going to be showing everybody how to do that free. And I'm going to be doing that even though there isn't any money to be made for me. Like there's nothing for me to basically tell you about to say, hey, if you use this software and I make an affiliate kickback, there really isn't any of that. I'm just going to be teaching you guys how to do that because I think it could be very fruitful, especially if you really work at it. So that's coming. And if you're looking forward to that, let me know in the comments of this video so that I have an idea, and then maybe I'll speed things along, because I'm just not sure how many people are into ebook writing. But it's also a really big marketing tactic, and there are a lot of different avenues associated with that. Now, I'm going to look at Bitcoin real quick on a 4-hour chart. We've been ticking down a little. There was a huge war right here. I mean, this was up and down, up and down. It was like a tug of war. I was watching it live, and it was kind of crazy. And then I guess the bears decided to go ahead and push the price down a bit. Not overly concerned with this, because I do expect to see somewhere around 14,000 by the halving. And then looking at the total crypto market, Icon, man, Icon's up 96%. They're at 36 cents now. The last time I spoke about Icon, I'm pretty sure it was 17 cents, and that was like not even a week ago. And I was pointing out how Icon never broke under its 11-cent ICO price. So that was pretty solid. Tezos has been getting a real big pump lately. So yeah, Cardano, a lot of people have been asking, like, how is Cardano doing so well when everything else is dropping? And how is Cardano going up? Because it's getting real, people. It's because Cardano is legit, and they're doing it. And they haven't even finished the product yet, but people are starting to really realize, hey, this thing's actually happening. Hey, Cardano's getting ready to launch Shelly. Hey, they're getting ready to launch Goguen. It's going to be a far superior network to Ethereum, Bitcoin even, and a lot of the other stuff out there. And once it does, we're going to start seeing a lot of application development for Cardano. Honestly, I have some ideas. I'd love to go to Emergo and be like, hey, we've got some ideas that we want to build on Cardano if you guys want to help fund it, because it's basically a part of what they're there for. But I've got so much stuff going on, and I wouldn't want to do that unless I could really commit to it. But you know, I've been talking to my developers about it, and they're interested, and they want to do something because they like Cardano as well. So we'll see. But anyway, moving forward. Now, this guy is CoffeeZilla, and he's basically one of those guys that you know, how do I explain it? I think he means well, but he's ultimately building a channel, trying to expose like fake stuff, you know, fake gurus, fake medical cures, you know, not necessarily a naysayer, but somebody that is trying to, when I watch his videos, he doesn't come off as like a smug, like punk kid who's like trying to just build his reputation and his viewership off the backs of people who are actually out there working. He doesn't really come off that way. He comes off as somebody who he sees a lot of this stuff happening, and he's trying to save people from it. And he recently did a video called the top 10 flags for a fake guru. And I was watching the video and I thought, you know, that makes some sense. What's up, Melanie? How are you? It makes some sense, but there are also some counters and rebuttals and some things I wanted to further extend upon in that he did in that video. Now, the number one red flag of a lot of these fake gurus, according to CoffeeZilla, is anyone anyone that talks about mastermind, right? Now, keep in mind, before I got into the crypto space and I got into YouTube and everything that I'm doing now, I was a sales coach. I was a business development consultant. I would go in, companies would pay me, and I would go in and I would go through their business model. I would go watch their staff, primarily sales floors. I would go in and I would observe. One of my customers or clients was the Better Business Bureau. I went in and I basically, over the period of a few days, I would go and I would just sit next to people as they were, making calls on the phone, and I would just listen to what they were doing, how they were making their calls, what was their energy like, how did they handle rebuttals, everything that they did. And I was making notes, and then I basically I brought everybody in and I gave them like a 2-hour, lecture basically on all of the things that they're not doing, everything they should be doing, the whole nine. And it went, and the vice president gave me a glowing review on LinkedIn, basically saying I went in and crushed it. And they did pay for that. There was a service that I provided as a business consultant. And while I was doing that, I was developing mortgage companies, training loan officers, hiring and firing, and handling marketing campaigns, designing marketing campaigns, all kinds of stuff. So I did a lot of different things in the coaching space, right? And had some pretty solid accolades from it. And so part of that, especially in the mortgage business, there are a lot of different coaching kind of companies, right? Core being one of them. And then you have like Tony Robbins' mastermind group, right? Now, the thing about masterminds is it's become a catchphrase for people ultimately trying to make money. And the mastermind principle consisted of an alliance of 2 or more minds working in perfect harmony for the attainment of a common definitive objective. Now, here's the thing about this whole, I actually kind of believe, what's up, Polly P? Rolex 23's in the house. What do you think about Hex price lately? I saw the pump. Somebody was making fun of me for being bullish on Cardano and not being bullish on Hex. And I just posted, oh ye BitConnect follower or BitConnect fan, have you not learned? Like, I don't care about Hex. People think that just because I brought on Richard that, to interview him, that I was like pro Hex or something. No, it's just never the case. Anytime I bring somebody on, it's because I've got questions I want answered directly. I don't want to rely on a news article or a press release or something like that. I want to talk to the people directly. Doesn't mean I'm bullish. I haven't made a decision. Unless I've specifically said, I love this, I'm in, I want this, something to that effect. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just exploring, and I'm doing it with publicly for everybody. So that's all that means. So anyway, a lot. So here's the thing that people have to understand. Now, I've watched a lot of videos on Amazon FBA, and there's so much helpful information out there to get you some initial guidance. Okay. And then I see all these guys trying to promote these $1,000, $2,000. I think one guy was even trying to charge $12,000 for a stinking course, right? And a lot of guys were giving Superman shit because he was selling a course for $10 and trying to get people to buy another one for $10. It just blows my. That's what I'm saying. That used to just blow my mind. How many people got really, really bent out of shape about like $20, $30. I'm like, if Superman were a real scammer, he'd be trying to sell a course for $1,000 and make you feel guilty that you aren't buying in. Okay. That's why I just think that a lot of the claims against Superman and like a lot of the shit that he took is just unmerited. So anyway, I had a course that was $10. You know what I mean? Like, in that first month I put it out there, it did really well. So, I wasn't trying to like upsell people on other courses or anything like that. But the idea that you could get access to a course for $10, look, it helps the YouTuber, right? Especially when us crypto tubers, we're not making any money on YouTube. Like we don't make squat. I actually checked my monetization. I think lifetime, and I think since I started my channel, I may have made like $2,500 total. So there's no money unless you have millions of subscribers and this and that. We make money based off of like paid content. You know what I mean? Paid reviews, paid features, that sort of thing. So anyway, the point of this is a lot of these guys that are on here explaining how to use Amazon, how to do this, how to do that, and they've got a lot of, baity catchphrases in their titles and things to draw in attention. They're all, like almost every one of them that I've seen is ultimately trying to promote their course, okay? Get my course. And then they want to upsell you on a bunch of shit from there. So while some of these guys come off as very, like they're just here to help, I'm learning that a lot of these guys are just hustling. Okay, and I'm going to show you some interesting things that you're probably not aware of as we move forward. However, the mastermind thing has become like this grand poobah of catchphrases, of keywords. People that want to learn, the master, like Tony Robbins, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the first big guys to make this mastermind term such a sought after thing. And masterminds can be good. But, a 13 or 14-year-old kid trying to sell a mastermind course on YouTube because he just showed you how to look up a keyword for a product on Amazon and he's making $1,000 off of it, or any of these other guys, a lot of this stuff is bogus. You're not going to get anything out of these mastermind groups that you aren't already getting on YouTube. Like, it's just not the case. Even when I have my courses, a lot of people join my courses on Udemy and they're willing to pay $10. And a lot of you guys did that just to help support me, and I greatly appreciated it. But ultimately, while I could have charged a lot more, I could have charged $100 and I'm sure a lot of people still would have bought it. And I could have did a bunch of shady tactics to try to make you feel guilty, or you're going to miss out. You join my course, you pay me $100, or you're going to miss out. The reality is that pretty much everything in these courses are already made available for free on YouTube, because YouTube is the big promotional tool, right? So anyway, the second, cars, right? So the second thing he's talking about is, when these guys are showing their Lamborghinis, guys are showing off their big flashy cars, okay? And the funny thing about that is, the way I see it, most wealthy people, most people that are doing very well, they're not really running around showing off their flashy shit. The majority of the people that are showing off flashy cars, jets, stuff like that, it's fake. It's all fake. Number one, there are actually services that you can rent where you can basically rent a private jet that never even leaves the ground, but you can basically pay for Instagram photo ops with your private jet. You can sit in it, drink a little, take a bunch of pictures, shoot some videos, things like that. They don't even leave the ground. It's all staged. The other thing is, let's say I want a Lambo in my next video, okay? And I'm going to show everybody how I'm making, $1 million on my course and in Amazon and whatever. And I want to prove it to you by showing you my car, right? I'm just going to go to Turo. I'm going to go to Turo.com and rent one. It wouldn't make much sense for me to rent a Lamborghini because I couldn't fit in one anyway. But ultimately, I can get a Lambo for $300, a 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo. Maybe I want a Lamborghini Huracan at 2018, $700, and I can rent this car. But honestly, to me, so the price is $695, but I don't really want to pay $695. I would actually rather pay $75. But I'm going to do something about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to inspect element. And down here at the bottom of my screen, I found the price. And I'm going to change this because I don't really like that $6.95. Or better yet, you know, I'm trying to promote my course. And I'm trying to show people that I made $70,000 this month from my affiliate marketing because I'm so amazing. But I really only made 20 bucks. But I don't want you guys to see that. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to change this. What do I want to change it to? I want to change it to, you know what, $10. Because that's what I want. Then I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to basically show you, I just made $75,000. It's that simple, folks. That's how easy it is to basically change the numbers that you're being shown. You don't have to have access to a database, and it very likely doesn't have to be legitimate. So basically, in one fell swoop, we just showed you how easy it is to get a Lambo for your next video. I could pull up the stuff about private jets and things like that, and I just showed you how easy it is to show fake affiliate reports. You can do this on any web page. Now, this isn't server side, and somebody else that comes to the same website isn't going to see the 10 bucks. It's only me, and it's only you on the camera, and that's the trick. So that's another red flag. Guys that are showing insane amounts of money being generated through their little online reports, a lot of it is bogus, and it's so easily edited and changed on the fly. I can make this anything I want, and I can change anything on this page. I'd call this the Crypto Crowmobile. Okay. Here, let's do this. Because I don't like the name of the car. Crypto Crowmobile. Bam. How about them apples? 10 bucks a day, you can rent the Crypto Crowmobile. That's what the Crypto Crowmobile would look like if I could actually fit in one. So that was another thing, is basically people showing off cars to try and incite you. And the idea is they're trying to show you the things that you could have. Okay? You know, join my course for $1,000 and you could have this beautiful Lamborghini, right? Just like I do. But the reality is that a lot of these guys, like, I could take what I know right now, create a bogus course and start promoting it all over the place, rent a car from Turo, shoot some cool videos. I can go do some stuff on my jet. You know, I could pay like $800 or whatever for the afternoon and shoot a bunch of photos. You know, I could do all that. I could stage a whole facade for you and convince people to pay me $500. I'm going to undercut the market. I'm going to go, I want $500 to teach you how to do all this stuff. And I could provide a bunch of informational videos. I could even do private coaching. I could do all sorts of stuff. But the reality is the information you're going to get from my course is going to be the same stuff you're going to find all over the internet for free. Okay? Disparaging real jobs. Now, this is another red flag that CoffeeZilla pointed out. And I actually contacted him because I wanted to do this with him. But he never responded. I don't even know if he sees the email, so I figured I would just do this on my own. Rolex 23, I am supporting you, Crow, since November 2017. Dude, you were one of the first people that you've been around since I first started my channel, and I appreciate it. You have been. So yeah, right click, inspect element, priceless. Absolutely. These are all the tricks, man. And look, I was in web design for years, and I used to do websites for people, and did quite a few of them. My very first company out of high school is a web design company. And, you know, there's so many tricks that these guys use, man, and you have to be careful. But the one thing that, you know, the disparaging real jobs, you know, here's the thing. To me, that's not a red flag. And I'll tell you why. Because the reality is nobody wants to grind their life away. Okay? And the idea is that they're selling people on, you know, of course they're saying, buy my course and I'll teach you how to get out of your dead-end job, right? Or your grindy job or whatever it is that you're doing. I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with that, provided the content of the course and their attention for their customers actually helps them do that. But you're ultimately selling the idea of, look, think outside the box, because outside the box is where you're going to find true financial freedom. And I believe that. I'm a product of that. I've been self-employed the majority of my life since I was a sophomore in high school. I've had a couple jobs. My first business was a web design business. I sold that on basically right around my 21st birthday. And then I started working for the company that bought me because they wanted me to run the division, because it was a brand new thing for this IT consulting firm. And I was so young. You know what I mean? I was so young. They had no idea they had no idea I was only 21 years old. Because I was really tall and I was very well-spoken and, you know, all of that. But I was a little immature. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was a bit immature back then. And so, you know, the idea is, look, if you're going to grind your life away, there are alternative means that you can utilize, provided you're willing to put the time and effort into building them. That's what the whole CryptoCrow.io thing is all about. I'm not selling my courses. I'm not selling the content. I'm not selling memberships to CryptoCrow.io, because I genuinely want to see people do better. And not only that, but I want to help people generate more income streams for themselves so that they can benefit from. See, here's the thing. When I got into crypto in 2017, I came in at the peak of things. I came in kind of towards the bitter end of the bull market. I missed a full year and a half of the bull market. Well, now I'm here, and I've been here throughout the entire bear market. And so now is the time, right now is the time, I believe, to really start accumulating, your favorite projects so that you can benefit. If you got in at a high, average down, double down, whatever you want to do. I'm not giving financial advice. Don't listen to me, okay? But me as an investor, me as somebody in the crypto space, I believe that now is the time, because you can almost throw a dart, and whatever it lands on, it's likely going to go up, okay, from here. And we're going to have pullbacks and dips and ebbs and flows in the market, of course. But generally speaking, we're going to start seeing the market, I think, turn around. And we've already been witnessing a lot of that. Now, Bitcoin's on its way down a little bit. Maybe it touches down to, who knows? Maybe it comes back down to 8,500 again before it starts blowing up to 14 grand prior to the halving. Who knows? That's what I expect to see personally. But anyway, so, you know, disparaging real jobs. Look, nobody wants their real job. Everybody wants to work for themselves. The difference is, and these are the things that these courses don't tell you, okay? Now, they make it sound like it's very easy for you to just pick a product and sell it, and you're going to make profit, and your chances are really good, and this and that, and here's some tools that are going to teach you how to do this. It's mindset. Your mindset is one of the most important aspects of building wealth in any business venture, period. It's your mindset. You have to, believe that it's possible. Because if in your gut you don't think that it's possible, you're not going to put in the amount of effort necessary to find success in it. And that's all there is to it. And that's where, you know, things like The Secret, things like, things that kind of help you grab onto a new mindset. Because let's face it, a lot of us have been beaten down our entire lives. A lot of us have struggled through life. A lot of us have lived paycheck to paycheck, and our lives are difficult or miserable. We're depressed, we're tired. And so it's very difficult to see and believe in the potential light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what's so important about this. And some of these courses sell you that dream. They sell you that belief. And they're basically playing on the idea that if I can convince you to pay me $1,000 for my course, well, then it's very likely you have the mindset. You're going to work that much harder, right? So, you know, some people, it's also perception. I don't get a lot of traffic on CryptoCrow.io. The content that's there and the groundwork I've been laying, it's not blowing up with traffic. And to be quite frank with you, if I were to sell memberships that were generating revenue for me and I could turn that revenue around and start doing YouTube ads and pay-per-click ads and things like that, I would probably get a lot more traffic and it would ultimately help a lot more people. That's kind of the nature of things, right? So in order for me to promote it and get it active and get people learning and start building our own kind of internal mastermind, it's going to take a little more time, unless I want to start pumping money into it out of my pocket. And I'm debating on whether or not to do that. And I may do that once a lot of the meat is up there for everybody. But we'll see. Another thing, live webinar. Join my live webinar. Everybody knows now that 99% of these live webinars are pre-recorded videos. They're not even real. Okay? And the reason is because these guys want to set it and forget it. They're putting their time in marketing, doing these videos, and that's what's a bit. Bobby Yak is struggling for some reason. He's posting and deleting. I'm not sure what's happening. You know, live webinars are bogus, and it's just another way to try and draw people in and make them believe that you're going to get some personal attention from a guru. And more often than not, they're bogus. They're not live. Number 5, paid courses. Again, I don't believe that there's necessarily anything wrong with a paid course. Like I said, if it's within reason. You know, if you're charging $1,000 for a course and you can hustle 100 people to buy it, you just made $100 grand. Is there anything wrong with that? It depends on your tactics. You know, I don't believe anybody should not be able to make money online. And I think it's everyone's right to be able to charge whatever they want for whatever they offer. The public will decide whether or not it's worthwhile, right? However, if you're using shady or bad or dishonest tactics to get that money, to get those people to join, then we have a problem. And a lot of these guys, honestly, seem to be doing exactly that. I watched one video about this guy who he basically spent, I think he said it was like $10,000 to become one of 10 limited seats for this guy, Jet Set something or other. And this guy was running a whole scam, like a legit scam. You know, people say, oh, in crypto, this project ICO'd and got $10 million and then the market crashed and then they haven't done anything since. That was a scam. No, that's not a scam. It's a failed business because they lost their capital because they held onto the Ethereum they got at ICO, and that $10 million went down to $200,000, and they didn't have the operating capital to manage a team of 10 people or 20 people. And it's just the way the market went. And that's the thing. It's the ignorance, of people. And everybody's so quick to like point a finger and blame the world and say, oh, this is a scam, that's a scam, that guy's a scam, that project it's ridiculous. Get some sense. Read a fucking book already. There's so many people that just don't put in the time to understand what's actually happening, but they're so angry because they're looking for a way out. They're looking for a way to change their life. And, if they think they find it and it goes wrong, it's always somebody else's fault. It can't just be the circumstances of the day. And sometimes that's all it is. But when it comes to these guys and they're charging insane amounts of money for these paid courses, then, that's not necessarily good. Six red flag. If somebody's under 35 years old. Now, I thought this was funny. Me being in my early 40s now, I kind of agree with this to a certain extent. But let me check chat real quick and see what's happening in there. Streamlabs is tripping. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Bobby X struggling. Okay, so anyway, under 35 years old, I don't necessarily believe that. I mean, look, nowadays, a buddy of mine, like somebody that I know personally, he made his first $1 million online before he was 21 by flipping domain names. I mean, that's what he did, and he still does it. And, now he deals in much bigger domain names than he used to. But, he had a very simple business practice. He would go around, when he first started out, any one of you guys could probably do this today if you had a good sales effort. He would go and he would buy a domain name relevant to a particular niche or business or industry. Okay. And then he would call all the businesses all over the place and offer to sell it to them for $500. He would spend $9, then turn around and sell it to a company for $500. And over time, as he made more money, and he would do it. And if they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to give you $500, but I'll give you $300. Okay, cool. And you go get another domain name, start over and do it again. I mean, there are guys doing this to this day. Because it's so difficult now to find domain names, especially .com domain names. But, you know, you do it with all kinds of domains. And it got to the point where instead of buying a domain for $8 or $15, selling it for $500, you buy a domain name for $10,000 and sell it for $100,000. And the more money he made, the more he would put into bigger and bigger domain names. And I know one domain that he had sold made him a big chunk of change. So the idea is I mean, he started this business before he was 21, and he knew enough about that industry to make $1 million before he was 21. So would that make him a guru? To me, likely. You know, it doesn't matter to me how old somebody is. What matters to me is the content and their character. You know, if it's a shady kid, and I feel like I'm going to learn a bunch of shady stuff that's just going to get me into trouble or hurt my business, well, then I have no interest. But I do believe that the younger people are, the more likely they are to use shady tactics to get what they want, especially nowadays, because everybody's been so, I feel like society's been turned into one giant baby. You know, everybody's so politically correct and everybody's so easily offended. I posted something on my Facebook about, you know, I said, hey, you slackers, right? And some guy was like, how dare you call everybody a slacker? You don't know us. You don't know where we've been. You don't know how hard we work and this and that. I'm like, wow, dude, sensitive much? Like, it's I call everybody a slacker, down from my kids to my wife to everybody I know and all my friends. Everybody's a slacker because nobody works harder than me. Nobody. I wake up, first thing I do is I come down, I start doing my research, I start doing my work, I start planning and talking to people, getting updates on everything I got going on, and I work until 2:30 in the fucking morning every damn day. Nobody works harder than me. I don't give a shit if you work in a factory and you're there 10 hours a day and it sucks, you still don't work harder than me. Everything I do is about working, benefiting my viewers, benefiting me, benefiting my family, benefiting my friends. Every hour I put in every single day is to make my life better, period. I'm not a slacker, and even sometimes I'm a slacker. And I still feel that I'm one of the hardest working sons of bitches anywhere, and I do it all honestly, and that's the thing. You know, anybody could go turn a quick buck. I could already make millions of dollars. I could have my own course. I could easily sell the world on a course and make $1,000 a pop. Easily could I do this, and those of you that have been watching me for years know this. But I don't believe that's an honest way to make a living. You know, it just doesn't feel right. So, you know, it is what it is, but I'm not going to sell my soul to make $1. And that's something I've always told myself. I don't mind going the harder route. I don't mind doing things. I want to be able to sleep at night. I have a difficult enough time sleeping. So, you know, but when I was younger, when I was under 35, I was still always brutally honest. But I didn't mind a little trouble now and then either. I didn't mind a little bar squab. I didn't mind a little craziness. Play chicken with semis, you know. Financial history. Okay. So this is another red flag. Guys that are constantly talking about how much money they make. Okay. I made $1 million selling Amazon. I made $3 million in the last 6 months. And you can too if you buy my course. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. First of all, nobody that's doing insanely well is going to advertise that shit all over the place for a multitude of reasons. Number one, they're not going to be bragging to the IRS that they just made millions of dollars on Amazon. They're not doing it. Okay? Unless they're like, which I highly doubt, unless they're doing a lot of things to try and avoid, you know, tax avoidance, if they're funneling everything through Ireland or something, I don't know. But it's just not, no business, nobody that's making that kind of money is advertising it all over the place. They're just not, especially in sheer numbers. So that to me is a crock. You've already seen how I basically changed this. I've changed all this. I could change this entire page to look any way I want. And it's no different with affiliate. You know, I could pull up my affiliate account and change it to look like anything I want. It's super simple, okay? So I don't believe any of that. That's why even in my own videos, I never go in and say, well, I made this much and I did this much in sales, because it doesn't matter. There's no way to really prove it to you unless you're sitting right here, you log in, you look at it for yourself. So now this one I don't believe in. Runs ads. Number 8. Like I said, and maybe someday I will charge a little something. Like, maybe I'll charge, $10 a month or something like that to access everything that there is in cryptocrow.io and more so the community. But I definitely don't want to have to do that, but only for the sake of being able to run ads. I mean, especially if you're trying to build a community and you're trying to do it against all these other people who are offering these crazy paid courses. One of the easiest ways to compete with them is pay-per-click ads, YouTube video ads, all of that stuff. It's very helpful. So even if you are charging just enough to cover your expenses and marketing so that you can continue building the community, that ultimately helps everyone in the community. The more people that are in the community working, doing things that they're learning in the videos, exchanging their tips and tricks and how-tos, and this worked for me and this didn't, that is a mastermind. Not some schmuck in California living on mommy daddy's money, that's not a mastermind. That's not somebody who's done anything but watched a couple of YouTube videos and maybe got lucky with a product and now he's trying to, have his own course. So I don't have any problem with running ads. I actually think it's kind of necessary in a lot of ways. Free book. Number 9 was his free book. And, look, the free book is just a ploy. Okay. And the whole idea of a free book to capture your email address so they can throw you into a funnel or a drip campaign and things like that. That kind of stuff is getting more and more difficult because, emails just bounce all the time. It's so much more difficult. However, it's really just kind of a bait and switch. So when I see that, yeah, I know it's just a ploy. It's a lead generator. It's all it is. I mean, we used to do that in mortgage all the time. Real estate agents do it all the time. It's just a way, here, give you something free so that you give me your contact information. And that's it. And number 10 on the list is mentors. I don't necessarily think that that's a red flag, but, anybody that's talking about mentors and things, that doesn't bother me either, provided they're a legitimate mentor. If you're actually going to learn something from the individual. But I'm seeing a lot of guys, man, it's like you pay them $1,000 to join their course, then they want to charge you another few $100 just to sit on the phone with them for a half an hour. And it's like, come on. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't really do that. Like, I have Experty and stuff like that, and I've thought about making myself available, but in order for it to be worth my time, I would have to charge a certain amount, and I just don't feel comfortable, so I haven't done it. I mean, and honestly, and I hate talking on the phone. I mean, my wife could call me and sit on the phone, and she could not say anything for 20 minutes, and it wouldn't faze her at all. It drives me insane. I've got shit to do. I cannot just sit on a phone. Not only that, but I don't like having a phone up against my face. Now, here's one thing that I want to address about a lot of these gurus on YouTube, and I'm a little different in the sense that I don't care. But the majority of these gurus are not going to give you all of their secrets. If they happen to be successful, whether it's Amazon FBA or with whatever, they are going to leave out the very pivotal, serious, worthwhile information, because they're not gonna build their own competitors. If you're doing very well selling on Amazon and you're making millions of dollars, okay, selling on Amazon, why do you give a shit about making $1,000 for a course just to build your own competition? Why? So, to me, anybody that's out there trying to charge an insane amount of money and sell you a dream and get you to believe in them, get you to believe that everything that they say is going to happen for you, and they're promising all this stuff. First of all, anybody that promises or guarantees anything, get rid of them immediately. You know, and outside of that, anybody that's trying to impress you constantly with anything other than their work is probably full of shit. And that's it. I mean, that's all I really have to say about that. But you know, thanks to CoffeeZilla for basically inspiring this video, because I was watching it and I'm like, he seems like a nice kid, and he, you know, he made some good points and things, but there are also some things that I kind of wanted to explain in a little more detail for people, because I felt that, you know, just because somebody does some of these things doesn't mean that they're fake. But you know, anybody trying to charge $1,000 for a course, just stick with what you're going to learn for free on YouTube. Let me know in the comments if you even have an interest in learning about publishing ebooks and how you can use that to further build your business. You know, if you're into romance, then check this out. Make sure you pre-order it. Help my wife out. You're gonna, I don't know what to say other than this book is gonna shock you. I would suggest, I think women are gonna like this book a lot more than men. Maybe not. I don't know. It gets pretty graphic. I will say that I only feel obligated to tell you guys this because if you know me, you know, I get people coming up to me all the time, man, I watch your channel and I love you, man, and you know, I feel like I know you so well, but you don't know me. If you're reading this book, you're gonna realize that the character Adrian is kind of, I guess you could say I inspired this character, okay? However, I want to make it a very abundantly clear that the book has a very big twist and it takes a hard left, and it is not me. Just in case you end up getting the book and reading it, you're going to think, wow, holy. And no, that's not me. This is not me. It goes way off into fantasy la la land, and it's a lot of fun, but I just want to make sure that any of you guys end up reading this book, no, it's not me all the way through. So anyway, Bitcoin looks like it's still ticking down. Look at that. All right, I'm going to take one quick look at chat. Hopefully this video is helpful to some people. Superman is making videos on his Tesla. Who wants to see that shit? I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool. I see his TikTok videos and stuff, and I can't do the TikTok thing the way everybody does it. Like, I'm not into all that shit. I'm too old for that. But I am trying to get my wife on there. I'm trying to get her. She's working on building her Instagram and building her TikTok and just building all of this stuff. She's going to start building all of these different platforms to help promote her books. Which I think is a really good idea. So, yes, on doing ebooks. You are turning red talking about this. Oh, was I? I might have been. It's a little interesting. Like all the guys that are in chat are always like gay for crow. Yeah, you're gonna love this book. You're gonna love the book. But yeah. When I was reading it, I'm like, oh my God, like anybody that watches my channel and reads this is going to know that this is basically, what this is. And then they're going to think, holy cow, I didn't know that about Crow. I'm like, no, you still don't, because it's not how it is. All right. So anyway, but it's fun. It's all fun. I was even joking with her last night. I'm like, everybody's going to think I'm a total freak when they read this. But I gotta help promote it, so it is what it is. I paid $1,000 for an FBA mentor and course. I'm upset right now because he is not answering the deep, complicated questions I have about FBA. Again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, they're predatory in a lot of sense, and it's kind of sickening. But that's the whole point of CryptoCrow.io. I'm doing all of this stuff. I was up until 3 3 a.m. last night doing product research. I do it every day. I'm trying to find the product that is going to be, well, series of products that are going to be the best for me personally, things that I want to actively promote, build campaigns around, do a lot of different things with. And I've got some great ideas, but now I have to just narrow it down and figure out which products I want to launch. You know, what options are available for me to change those products. So it's definitely going to be, but as I'm doing this, I'm going to be adding new videos to CryptoCrow.io and to some extent this channel, but I don't want this channel, you know, this is a crypto channel. Not necessarily just a, you know, how to make money channel. And so I don't know what to do about that. But, you know, I would rather get a bunch of content onto CryptoCrow.io and then maybe do some videos where I'm promoting it, but I'm doing them in the midst of crypto videos. So I don't know. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments, honestly, because I'm really kind of lost as to what to do. I've thought about taking content videos that I'm going to have on CryptoCrow.io and just making them not public, but you'll be able to watch them within the course curriculum, or, you know, put them out there. You know, if I'm teaching something, I'm teaching something. It doesn't necessarily have to be crypto, but, you know, I want people to want to watch them and view them and engage with them and learn from them and actually do the stuff. So, yeah. All right, well, I'll cut it here, 51 minutes and 32 seconds. It's 12 o'clock. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully today's video is helpful to you. And yeah, until next time, crow your coins. Happy Monday.